Hey, precious souls, we are going to talk about why we tend to not trust ourselves, why we don't tend to, dog hair's on me, I'm sorry, my dog was right here, why we tend to not trust ourselves, why we tend to live lives that are inauthentic to who we are. And what is so amazing is I am actually teaching on this right now, and I have a free goodie for you. If you look at the link right here that I posted, you can get the free self-assessment quiz that I have created according to guidance that I've received and through my training and through my prayer on how to know if you're living an authentic life. And so by clicking on it, it's in the link, it's in this post. Hey, Robert. You can get this free assessment, and in the meantime, I get to get your name, and I get to find out who you are, and I get to know that you're in my tribe. So make sure before the video is over or right when it's over to click that link and or click the link. I'm not sure where it is, wherever it is. Click it so we can work together on your self-truth. So why is it so important to live in your truth? Why does it even matter? Because here's the deal. When we are living our life to please everybody around us, we're not lining up with what our soul, hey Christopher, is here to do, what our soul is called to do, because we are living for what everyone else's soul is called to do. We're living for what everyone else's preferences are. So when we learn how to tune in to our own guidance system, our own wisdom, our own soul, our own heart, we find a pathway that then will open up the flow for us to then where we can be a better us for everybody else, and we can live a life that is in total alignment with our I'm sorry, I turned my phone on silent and stuff keeps popping up. Anyway, the new 10X, for some reason I can't get it to silence even though I'm putting it on do not disturb, and now my dogs are all up here. This is a live TV on Friday, or live internet on Friday. Hey Sean. Okay, so I know you're looking at me and you're like, what does it even mean to live in my truth? Like, how do I even do that? I don't even think I know like how to do that. Okay, I was just giving someone the simplest thing, and I want you to hear this simple tool that I'm going to give you, and you're going to be like, that's so easy, but I don't even trust that. Well, I'm going to tell you why you do. When you want to know the voice of your soul, which by the way is a divine voice, and by the way is being given the information, the wisdom that is being given to you, your preferences, your impulses. Hey Samad, they're coming from a place of divinity which is inside of you. Your sacred voice is your spirit, your soul, and it sits down like in your midsection, and it's rising up and giving you guidance all the time. What do we do with it? I'll tell you what we do with it. We dismiss it. We then take the guidance, we run it through, I'm sorry, Tula's gonna join me here. Hi, Tula. Here, come say hi. Say hi, everybody. Say hi, look at my eyes, look how cute I am. So cute, I know, I love you. So what we do then is we tend to run it through our brains, and our logical self will then defeat our spiritual self, okay? Because we second guess our spiritual guidance because our minds tell us it is silly to follow our impulses or our imagination or our inner wisdom because we've somehow learned not to trust ourselves. We have been told by our parents and our peers and our teachers out of love, but it's... we get, my friend Jerry Ryman calls it de-geniusing. We get de-geniused around the age of 7 or 8. Think about it, when you were little, you followed your impulses. Whatever you felt like doing, you did. You were in the natural flow of the desires of your life, okay? And you were following what you knew to be right. You knew what you wanted to do. You knew what extracurricular stuff you wanted to do. You knew what games you wanted to play. You knew who you were. You didn't judge yourself. You did not, most importantly, compare yourself to others. Yes, you would go to your parents if you knew you needed guidance because that's what you knew to do. It was natural for you. But somehow around the age of 7 or 8 or 9, like it gets weeded out of us. We get like squeezed really tightly, and it squeezes out our inner wisdom, and we stop trusting ourselves, and we start comparing ourselves to others. And then over time, what happens is we shut down our inner guidance because we think that everyone else knows better than us. Why do we do that? You have sacred divine guidance inside of you, and it is that voice. And let me tell you how you know. I know you're like, well, how do I know which it is? Hey, Allie, I saw that you just popped on here. Hey, Joseph. Let me tell you how you know. This is the simplest thing, and I love knowing this. And so I do work, I do intuitive counseling, I do some mediumship work, and the only reason I'm able to tune in to non-physical guidance, to spiritual guidance, is because I trust exactly what I'm about to tell you. Okay, you ready for it? Your divine guidance is the first thought that comes to mind before you have a chance to think, all right? So here's how it works. when you get an impulse or you get some guidance and you stop and you say, God, which way should I go? The very first thing that comes up for you, which will rise up from your soul, is your answer. It is your divine guidance. What we've been trained to do is to second guess ourselves, and then we take that divine guidance and we run it through this little computer in our brain that is full of, you ready for the two things? Doubt and fear and mistrust of the self. I'm sorry, my dog right now is rolling around on the ground, rubbing her face in the ground, making noises. So what are you doing? Dogs trust themselves, by the way. Hey, because they're still divine creatures. Okay, so we're going to practice this. So I want you to practice when you say, like you look at, okay, so here's one of the big places I want you to trust your guidance. And this is getting spiritual messages. And this is something I love teaching. Okay, so if you think you're getting a message from who knows, your grandmother that passed on, your mother, God, whoever you believe is in a higher place than you, a higher vibration. If you believe you're being guided, I would assume that you guys do because you're here with me and you're my people, and we believe that we're being divinely guided, right? So if you are in a place where you seek that out and where you want to trust it, but you're not sure which voice it is the first voice that comes up, and here's how you practice it, okay? So if you get a sign, okay? So first of all, everything that you think is a sign, if it is something that is encouraging, not if it's something that's foreboding or scary or inflicting fear, those aren't signs. That's conditioning from culture that we're supposed to be afraid. If you get something that is an uplifting sign to go a certain way or reminds you of a loved one, or maybe is something that's unusual and you're like, that's weird that I just saw that because I was just talking to so-and-so about that and this is a coincidence. It never is, ever. Hear me? Nothing ever is a coincidence. Everything that catches your eye that you think that's weird, like today, I was getting guidance on something, and in my mind, actually someone's grandmother was actually communicating with me from the other side. I love dropping on you that I'm a closet medium. And I was talking to this guy, and I kept hearing in my mind, oh my God, my dogs are about to go crazy. I kept hearing the word, I kept getting the word pennies. Like, tell him I'm going to drop pennies, coins. It's going to be coins. And I was second guessing myself because I wasn't sure if it was going to be right. I may have to silence my dog shortly. Oh my God, you're going to get this background craziness. I'm going to show you what they're doing in a second. Anyway, the second I turned around, I started second guessing it, and I'm like, but what if I'm wrong? I looked down on the counter, and a penny caught my eye, just sitting on my counter. I don't know why it was there. Okay, again, I could take that vision, that whatever, that impulse, that imaginative thought, and dismiss it again and be like, that's a weird coincidence. No, there's so much divine love always trying to assist you and giving you signs that if you stop second guessing yourself, seriously, live, and the dog just, come here, Tucker, Tula, come here, come on up. You'll receive it. I'm sorry, you guys. Come here, come up. So then, here's what I want you to do. Next time you see something you think might be a sign, it could be anything, you guys, and anything that feels like it is, you get that little moment where you're like, could it be, maybe it's just something someone says to you and you think, that's weird, I was just thinking about that, or for me, feathers are a big thing. Okay, the minute you see the sign, maybe it's a ladybug that's walking on you. Maybe it's someone that looks like your grandmother in the store. Okay, no coincidences. If you stop for a minute and think, is this a sign? This could be a sign. Here's how you practice what I'm teaching you. In that second, just stop. Okay, they're about to do it again. Just stop and say, what's the message? Before you have a chance to think, just say, what's the message? And whatever rises up from you, and it's going to be loving, okay? It's always going to be loving and directional. It's never going to be, it could be go this way, don't go that way. It's never going to be fear-boding or harmful. It's always going to be in love. You have such a big spiritual team always waiting to guide you in love, in support, in spiritual guidance. They're dropping things for you all the time. And they're like, why do you keep dismissing it? Okay. So I want you to stop in that moment and just say, what's the sign? What's the message? And the first thing that pops in, all right? It could be, I love you. It could be, go this way. It could be, call so-and-so. It could be whatever. Or you're being guided. Don't worry. Things are coming. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the money. Your house is going to sell. Whatever it is rising up from your place of spiritual knowing, your intuition, which is the voice of God, of source, of spirit inside of you. And it is divinely guided. So we have a part of us that is still a non-physical. It is our higher self. We are here in physical beings, but we have a soul that is eternal. and our part of our eternal soul actually is still a non-physical, and it's still in a form that is in spirit form. So you can actually communicate with yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but you just tap into it. So to keep this simple, I want just to encourage you guys just to ask, say, my higher self, please lead me in the direction that's for my highest good. And then follow the impulses. Like it could be turning right at the light instead of left, or it could be wearing a certain thing, a certain dress color instead of not, because maybe when you walk in the room, it's going to be someone's favorite color. It could be very often where you go to eat, where you're spending your time, because the rendezvous that are being set up for you, oh my God. I'm just going to trust that this is just supposed to happen, because let me show you guys what's happening back here. All right, here's what's happening. Oh wait, I got to take the, I'm taping in my office, in my, so here's what's happening back here. So I'm going to step away from my little, so here's what I'm doing, you guys. By the way, here's where I tape. All right, and here, I'm up on my 3rd floor of my house. We have a big playroom up here. Okay, and here's what's happening down here. Yeah. Criminal 1 and criminal 2. Oh, now you're going to stop because I came over? Show everybody how crazy you are. Oh, now you're going to stop? Oh my God, they do this all day, every day. Let me go back to my little cozy space. Oh my God, such craziness, right? Does anybody else have like random things with dogs and kids, or anyone, cats? That happened to you? You know, they just crawl on your face or start running around when you're trying to do a live taping. I love this topic so much because it literally has brought me so much peace in my life, and it makes me want to weep. It reminds me of how completely loved I am, how completely supported I am, and this is not just me at all. It's you. The teaching that comes through from people that are tapped into the spiritual world, they always say, if you knew the amount of spiritual support that you had around you at all times, you would be so overwhelmed with love, you would never doubt anything again. You have such huge supernatural, magical, spiritual, loving entities and beings and loved ones and angels and guides around you. They are always, always trying to guide you, but you have to open up and ask, okay? So here's what I do in the morning is when I'm walking, and I'm talking about this with intuition and self-trust, because your intuition taps into this guidance, okay? You're being guided intuitively. So you're intuiting, you're inspired intuitively. Inspired means in spirit, and intuit, the Latin word, has to do with going inward to know, okay? So you're going inward, you're tapping into the divine in you, which is a direct place from source, and you're getting the guidance from this legion of angels and guides that are around you that are working with you specifically. So it's so cool to talk about angels and guides. So if you're going through something super tough right now, I want you to know, and I pick up on this a lot when I'm sitting with people, I'm kind of get told to tell them, because you should know this. You have specific angels and guides that have been called in specifically to help you through what you're going through. There are angels and guides that are specifically called to help people when they go to the other side, or when they come to help humans. Like they are guided with a specific interest. So there are some that deal with diagnoses, disease, illness. There's some that will deal with, helping to sell your house, or when you're struggling with relationships, or when you maybe are trying to find your voice, or whatever it is. You actually have special spirit team members that get called in to help you. And so the more you trust your instinct, and you don't have to believe any of that. You really don't. All I want you to believe is that you have, I call it your inner shaman. You have a voice of wisdom inside of you, that if you just trust your impulses, and if you just follow the desires that you're having along the way, never leading with fear, never letting everyone else's desires for you guide you, because when you're doing that, you're going to actually have resistance, a resistant energy in you that's contracting, and it's almost impossible for you to get into the flow. And what is flow? Flow is when things come easily. Here's something I've learned too. Oftentimes, when we're trying to find something, like say like right now I want to find a Jeep, or like maybe you're looking for the perfect couch, or maybe you're looking for the perfect picture, like I was to hang behind your little set, or whatever. So often, if we're in the flow and we're asking for guidance, it will be the first thing that you see. It will actually be the first one that you tap on when you go online, or maybe it's the second. But when you're in the flow, your answer will come to you very quickly. Hey, Mulican, if you doubt it, that's okay. You can go on a long search. You can spend hours going down the rabbit hole and being lost. And then very often I go back to like the first choice, and I didn't realize that it was being offered to me because I think it was too easy. Okay, here's the deal. When you're in the flow, things are supposed to be easy. Things that are being brought to you are brought to you with ease. You're being supported. Like, don't second guess it. Like, just be like, you know what, done. Like, this is exactly what I want. It showed up first. Like, I'm just going to trust and save myself the next hour of going down a wormhole on the internet when it just brought to me. Now I can get back to what I really want to do. And I'm telling you guys, once you start trusting this, you're going to go by Gilberto, you're by leaps and bounds going to save yourself time, increase your self-confidence. In the meantime, you're going to have a better sense of well-being. You're actually going to be boosting your immunity, because you're going to start living in a place that is not resistant, but it is open and expanded, and your life and your energy and your physical systems and your metabolism and your spirit are going to be flowing. They all work together. They're going to be flowing in unity in your body, in your life, and you're going to be amazed by the flow that shows up just for you. All right. Hey, Jeff. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm sorry about my crazy dogs, but hey, they're like picking up on they always come when I'm trying to tape, because they love the energy, the expansion that comes when I'm on camera. And it's like, all right, bring it. This is real. All right. I'm going to go hang out with my kids. I'm working on my proposal, book proposal today. I've got to finish it. It's going back to my editor on Monday. I was saying in the beginning of the video, you guys, click on the link that's in this, that's on this post. I put it right above in the description. It's a free bundle that I'm giving you. There's an awesome like little PDF kind of workbook thing. It's a really fun guided self-assessment to help you see if you're living a life that is real, and if you know yourself and you trust yourself. And it's a fun little 7-question like self-assessment quiz where you can answer yes or no, and it helps you to pinpoint the areas where you're not living in flow, and you can see where you can have breakthroughs. And I'm going to be having teaching that's going to be following this. It's going to help you find your way to your freedom. That's what you want, right? Freedom on this Friday. All right, I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for being here. Remember, when you lead with your heart, you're always going the right direction. Bye, guys.